I was on the Hill today meeting with the leaders of our House and Senate committees for banking and for finance, and they are very committed to moving legislation through the House and the Senate this year in order to provide that clear regulatory framework that the digital assets ecosystem needs to sustain innovation in the United States. And so those chairmen, I think, are very committed. President Trump is committed, and I think we can do something here. But as you know, moving legislation through Congress takes time. But I think this is something we could do in the next 6 months.
In a very pleasant turn of events, President Donald Trump's AI and crypto czar, David Sacks, has revealed the administration is working on establishing a clear and suitable regulatory framework for the cryptocurrency industry in 2025. While speaking during a press conference on Tuesday, alongside Senate Banking Committee Chairman Tim Scott, Senate Agriculture Committee Chairman John Boozman, House Financial Services Committee Chairman French Hill, and House Agriculture Committee Chairman G.T. Thompson, Sacks stressed that the Trump administration is committed to getting appropriate legislation of cryptocurrencies and stablecoins in keeping with the president's campaign promise about making America a hub for cryptocurrencies and digital assets. During the press conference, Sacks spoke at length about the administration and Congress's plans to establish the United States as a leader in the digital asset sector. The crypto czar, a renowned Silicon Valley executive, detailed the White House's strategic approach to digital assets, which he said will include regulatory policies, innovation incentives, and national security considerations. The Republican lawmakers also showed immense support for the cryptocurrency industry and willingness to support President Trump's ambitions for the digital assets space as a whole. As we bring you clips from the conference and David Sacks' exclusive interview with CNBC, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
The president said in his executive order in the first week that it's the policy of his administration to support the responsible growth and use of digital assets, blockchain technology, and related technologies across all sectors of the economy. And he established an executive branch working group for digital assets, which includes Secretary Besson at Treasury, Secretary Noem, soon-to-be confirmed Attorney General Bondi, Secretary Lutnick at Commerce, and all the other key administration officials that have an equity in crypto. And similarly, the SEC has set up a crypto task force led by Hester Peirce, which is also looking at this issue. And together, our objective is to accomplish the task the president assigned for us in his EO, which is to propose a federal regulatory framework governing the issuance and operation of digital assets, including stablecoins, in the United States. I've talked to many founders over the past few years, and they've told me repeatedly that the number one thing they need from Washington is regulatory clarity. They just want to know what the rules of the road are so they can abide by them. We're coming off, frankly, 4 years of arbitrary prosecution and persecution of crypto companies where the SEC wouldn't tell founders what the rules were, but then they would prosecute them. And many founders have even told me stories of being debanked personally just because they had founded a crypto company. All of this approach was driving this important technology of the future offshore, and we want to keep that innovation onshore in the U.S. Financial assets are destined to become digital, just like every analog industry has become digital, and we want that value creation to happen in the United States rather than giving it away to other countries. This will also, I should add, be much better for consumer protection because it's easier for regulators to supervise an activity when it's onshore. And it's probably not a coincidence that the single biggest fraud in the history of crypto, which was FTX, was based in the Bahamas. By moving the innovation onshore, it'll be easier to separate out the good actors from the bad actors. And we want to encourage the good actors, the innovators, while protecting the market from the bad actors. And I think a market structured legislation with clear definitions and fair rules will do that. I want to say additionally, we're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Hagerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. Treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates. So let me stop there, and I want to thank the chairman here today, Chairman Scott, Chairman Hill, Chairman Bozeman, Chairman Thompson. And I look forward to working with them as part of the administration to help turn President Trump's policy into reality. This was a week one priority for the administration, and we're excited that our counterparts in Congress are equally committed to ensuring American dominance in digital assets. I look forward to working with each of you. And with that, I want to say work with each of you in creating a golden age in digital assets. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chairman Scott. Thank you.
I think David represents promises made, promises kept. I love the campaign trail when President Trump was out there making promises, and we see today he's keeping those promises. And in so many ways, I think back to a kid as I was a long time ago, growing up in a single-parent household, mired in poverty, and hoping that the American dream would one day be accessible for me. I think that we're standing here today at the precipice of greatness for so many kids who are looking forward to democratization, having access points for their families and for themselves that makes it easier and less expensive to do business in this country. I love the concept that we see today, synergy within the administration, the House, and the Senate, focusing not on ourselves, but focusing on working class Americans who desperately need to reduce their prices and increase their access. That's what the bicameral working group will help tackle. I have a pre-existing working friendship with GT and French and John. And the good news is we come together already having proven the ability to work together to get things done for the American people. It's an exciting time to be an American. And as David said, the golden age has begun. And the good news is it's going to get better. I'm excited about what we will accomplish for the American people. I'm excited about the synergistic approach that we're taking in the House and the Senate, with the White House leading the way. Next, you'll hear from Chairman French Hill.
Thank you, Chairman Scott, and David Sacks, thank you for coming to Capitol Hill to celebrate with us the fact that in the 119th Congress, we have a bicameral project for both a stablecoins bill and a regulatory framework that will bring clarity to digital assets in the United States so that we are the land of opportunity, the land of innovation that we have been for decades in so many other technologies. We don't want to be behind in financial technology and digital assets in the United States, but our innovators, as David Sacks reported, need clarity. They need to know what the rules of the road are, and that's why I'm excited to be here today to share this announcement that we're forming a working group on a bicameral basis between the House Financial Services Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, the House Agriculture Committee, and the Senate Agriculture Committee to make progress on that clarity for a regulatory framework and to create and structure a stablecoins bill that will lend itself to advancing America as the reserve currency of the world. This is a big issue. Bicameral support this year is dynamic because last year in the 118th Congress, we had success on a bipartisan basis in the House on both stablecoin legislation moving out of the House Financial Services Committee and for the regulatory framework moving across the House floor with a strong bipartisan vote. 71 Democrats joined House Republicans in moving that policy forward. So in my view, with the wind at our back of a leader like President Trump, who knows that financial innovation, financial technology is where America's heart is, where our entrepreneurs' hearts are, that will lead from the executive branch. And now, with this bicameral partnership with Senate Agriculture and Senate Banking, along with our House committees, I look very, very forward to the success we're going to have in the 119th Congress.
During the press conference, U.S. Senate Agriculture Committee Chairman John Boozman emphasized the progress made over the past 3 years in developing a regulatory framework for the industry. He acknowledged the volatility in the crypto market, noting its rise in popularity, the setbacks following events like the collapse of Sam Bankman-Fried's empire and its recent resurgence. Boozman stressed that the primary objective is to ensure consumer protection while allowing the industry to grow in a structured and regulated environment. He highlighted the importance of regulation in fostering confidence among investors, whether they are banks, financial institutions, or individuals managing retirement funds. According to Boozman, clear regulatory guidelines will enable the digital asset industry to expand responsibly. He also emphasized the need for collaboration between agencies, Congress, and the White House, which he says is essential to establishing a comprehensive regulatory structure. Congressman G.T. Thompson, chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, framed the discussion within the broader context of technological advancements. He compared the rise of digital assets to previous technological milestones, such as the evolution of the Internet. According to Thompson, the United States led the world in developing Internet 1.0, which focused on knowledge, and Internet 2.0, which connected people and things. Now, with the emergence of Internet 3.0, the Internet of Value, he stressed the need for a principled regulatory approach. Thompson outlined two key priorities: protecting consumers while providing regulatory certainty and fostering innovation to unlock the potential of digital assets. In a follow-up interview with CNBC, Sacks expressed confidence and optimism that these feats can be achieved in 6 months or less. Here are clips from the interview.
I was on the Hill today meeting with the leaders of our House and Senate committees for banking and for finance, and they are very committed to moving legislation through the House and the Senate this year in order to provide that clear regulatory framework that the digital assets ecosystem needs to sustain innovation in the United States. And so those chairmen, I think, are very committed. President Trump is committed, and I think we can do something here. But as you know, moving legislation through Congress takes time. But I think this is something we could do in the next 6 months.
The feasibility of a Bitcoin reserve, you said that's being studied. It's one of the first things that's on the table here. What goes into that process? Is that something that would be standalone, or is that something that could potentially be tucked into, say, a sovereign wealth fund, which has been the speculation today on the heels of that executive order?
I guess it's possible that the sovereign wealth fund could decide that they want to make Bitcoin or digital assets part of its portfolio. You're going to have to ask the incoming Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick about that. The item that President Trump asked our working group on digital assets to study is whether it's feasible to create either a Bitcoin reserve or some sort of digital asset stockpile. And so we're going to be looking at that question. We haven't committed yet to doing it, but it's one of the first things we're going to be looking at.
What do you see as the real value and the reason why the United States government should be paying so much attention to it?
Well, I think there's a few different aspects here when you're talking about digital aspects. So first of all, you got Bitcoin. It was the first digital currency, and it's the original. It's the strongest one. In the parlance of the industry, it's the most lindy, meaning it's been around for over a dozen years now. No one's ever hacked it. No one's ever cracked the security around it. And so it is an excellent store of value. So that would be point number one. Bitcoin is run on, as you know, a blockchain. It's basically a distributed ledger, which is essentially a form of decentralized computing. And that platform can be used to create a lot of other types of products. And so that would be sort of technology area number two, is all the innovation that can be built on top of blockchains. And then I would say a third area that's very interesting is stablecoins. And this is an area that has already taken off, but mostly offshore. We want to bring that innovation onshore. We want to enable legislation to allow the issuance of stablecoins in the United States. And I think the power of stablecoins is that it could extend the dollar's dominance internationally, extend it online, digitally, and create potentially trillions of dollars of new demand for our U.S. treasuries, which could help support our debt and bring down long-term interest rates. So I think these are all three very exciting areas of digital asset technology.
In other news, Michael Saylor's software and business intelligence firm, MicroStrategy, which has become synonymous with corporate Bitcoin advocacy, has officially rebranded itself as Strategy. This move reflects its evolution from a traditional software firm into a dominant player in the Bitcoin ecosystem. The rebranding, announced just ahead of its latest earnings call, underscores the company's transformation beyond merely accumulating Bitcoin. It signals a broader strategic vision, one that could position Strategy as a Bitcoin-native financial institution rather than just a tech company with a significant BTC treasury. In a press release announcing the rebranding, Strategy said, MicroStrategy Incorporated today announced it is now doing business as Strategy. Strategy is the world's first and largest Bitcoin treasury company, the largest independent, publicly traded business intelligence company, and a NASDAQ 100 stock. This brand simplification is a natural evolution of the company, reflecting its focus and broad appeal. The new logo includes a stylized B, signifying the company's Bitcoin strategy and its unique position as a Bitcoin treasury company. The brand's primary color is now orange, representing energy, intelligence, and Bitcoin. This shift raises key questions. Could Strategy be laying the groundwork for innovative Bitcoin-based financial services? Is this a precursor to the company's deeper integration into decentralized finance DeFi or institutional Bitcoin adoption? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you find this update insightful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more in-depth discussions on Bitcoin and the evolving financial landscape.